Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're diving deep into something we all face at some point, struggling within ourselves. It's those internal battles, the silent frustrations, and the mental roadblocks that keep us from truly being at peace. Sometimes we don't even realize what's causing that struggle. It can feel like we're stuck, weighed down, or overwhelmed for reasons we just can't pinpoint. That's where I come in. Today, I'm going to shed some light on 9 reasons why you might be feeling this way, and more importantly, how you can overcome each one. But before we dive in, I want you to think about this. What do you feel has been holding you back the most? Take a second to reflect on it, and as we go through this list, see if you can identify the reason that resonates most with you. And at the end of the video, I'd love to hear from you. What's been your biggest struggle, and how are you working to overcome it? Drop a comment below. Your experience matters, and your story could help someone else who's watching. So, let's get into it. 1. You're trying to please everyone. Let's start with a tough one, people-pleasing. How many times have you put everyone else's happiness before your own? Maybe you're saying yes when you really want to say no, or you're constantly worrying about what others think of you. But let me ask you this. When was the last time you did something purely to make yourself happy? Here's the truth. You will never be able to please everyone. And the more you try, the more you'll lose touch with who you are. When you focus on what others want, you push your own needs and desires to the back burner. And that's where the struggle begins. I get it. It's hard to stop. We all want to feel accepted, appreciated, and liked. But here's a powerful realization. It's okay to say no. It's okay to prioritize yourself without feeling guilty. You don't need anyone else's approval to live your life. So the next time you're faced with a choice, stop and ask yourself, am I doing this because I want to, or because I feel like I have to please someone else? Choose you, even if it feels uncomfortable at first, and you'll start to notice how freeing it can be. When you honor yourself, the right people will respect you more for it. 2. You don't know how to rest. We live in a society that glorifies being busy. It's almost like if you're not hustling 24/7, you're failing. But let's get real for a second. When was the last time you actually allowed yourself to rest? Not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. Rest is not just about sleep. It's about taking time to recharge, reflect, and recover. If you're constantly on the go, constantly thinking about the next task, you're draining your energy reserves. And when you don't rest, you end up running on empty. And that's when the internal struggle hits hard. You start feeling anxious, irritable, and disconnected. But here's the thing. Rest isn't a luxury. It's essential for your well-being and growth. It's not laziness. In fact, resting can make you more productive, more creative, and more in tune with yourself. Whether it's through meditation, a walk in nature, or simply unplugging from your devices for a while, give yourself permission to rest. Ask yourself, how am I resting today? If the answer is I'm not, it's time to make a change. Your mind and body need that time to reset. Remember, even machines need to be powered down every once in a while. 3. You're overthinking everything. Let me paint a familiar picture. It's late at night, and you're replaying conversations in your head. You're worrying about things that haven't happened, or you're stuck in a loop of what-if scenarios. Sound familiar? Overthinking is one of the biggest mental traps we can fall into. It's like trying to solve a puzzle that doesn't exist. The more you think about it, the deeper you dig yourself into a hole. But here's what you need to remember. Overthinking doesn't lead to answers. It leads to anxiety. Overthinking often comes from fear. Fear of making the wrong decision. Fear of the unknown. Fear of failure. But the truth is, Not everything is within your control, and that's okay. What you can control is how you respond. Instead of getting stuck in your head, focus on taking action, no matter how small. When you move forward, even if it's just one step, you break free from that mental loop. So next time you catch yourself overthinking, stop and ask, what can I do about this right now? If the answer is nothing, let it go. If there's an action you can take, do it. Overthinking won't solve your problems, action will. 4. You're comparing your chapter 1 to someone's chapter 20. One of the biggest reasons we struggle within ourselves is because we're constantly comparing our journey to someone else's. Maybe you're scrolling through social media, seeing other people living their best lives, achieving their dreams, and you're wondering why you're not there yet. But here's the thing. You're comparing your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20. You don't know their full story. You don't see the failures, the setbacks, and the struggles they face to get where they are today. Your journey is unique. It's happening at your own pace, and that's perfectly okay. Success isn't a race, it's a process. So instead of comparing yourself to others, focus on your own progress. Celebrate your small wins. Every step forward, no matter how small, is a step in the right direction. Remember, comparison is the thief of joy. The only person you should be comparing yourself to is the person you were yesterday. Stay in your lane, trust your journey, and you'll get where you're meant to be. 5. You're afraid of being vulnerable. Let's face it, being vulnerable is scary. Showing your true self, admitting your fears, opening up about your struggles, it feels risky, doesn't it? We're so conditioned to believe that vulnerability equals weakness. But here's the truth. Vulnerability is strength. When you allow yourself to be vulnerable, you're being real. You're showing up as your authentic self, and that's where real growth happens. When you're afraid to be vulnerable, you put up walls to protect yourself. But those walls don't just keep others out, they keep you from connecting with yourself. Being vulnerable doesn't mean sharing everything with everyone. It means being honest with yourself and with the people who matter. It means embracing your imperfections, your fears, and your dreams. When you stop pretending to have it all together, you'll find that vulnerability is actually a source of strength. So go ahead, open up. You'd be surprised at how much courage and power you'll find when you allow yourself to be real. 6. You're stuck in a comfort zone. Comfort zones are, well, comfortable. But here's the harsh truth. Nothing grows in the comfort zone. If you're not challenging yourself, you're not growing. And if you're not growing, you're stuck. Maybe you're afraid of failure, rejection, or discomfort. But the real question is, what's the cost of staying where you are? What dreams are you putting on hold because you're too comfortable to take a risk? Growth requires discomfort, but it also brings new opportunities, experiences, and perspectives. It pushes you to become a stronger, wiser version of yourself. So ask yourself, am I comfortable or am I growing? If the answer is comfort, it's time to shake things up. Push yourself out of that comfort zone, take risks, and watch your world expand. 7. You're taking on too much. How many roles are you juggling right now? Maybe you're working a full-time job, taking care of your family, pursuing a side hustle, and trying to be a good friend all at the same time. It's no wonder you're struggling internally. You're taking on too much. When you spread yourself too thin, you dilute your energy and attention. You can't give 100% to everything, and that's okay. The problem is, when you try to, you end up feeling overwhelmed, burned out, and disconnected from yourself. It's time to prioritize. You don't need to do everything, and you certainly don't need to do it all at once. Focus on what truly matters and let go of the rest. Delegate, ask for help, or simply let go of the things that aren't serving you. Your mental and emotional health should be your top priority. Remember, you can't pour from an empty cup. Take care of yourself first, and everything else will fall into place. 8. You're not giving yourself credit. When was the last time you gave yourself credit for how far you've come? We're so quick to downplay our achievements, to brush off compliments, or to focus on what we haven't done yet. But let me tell you, you're doing better than you think. You are good enough. You've overcome challenges, you've made progress, and you've grown in ways you probably don't even realize. It's easy to focus on what's next, but don't forget to acknowledge how far you've come. Celebrate your wins, no matter how small. Give yourself credit for the progress you've made. It's not about perfection, it's about growth. Be proud of yourself for the steps you've taken, and trust that you're on the right path. 9. You're disconnecting from your own needs. Finally, one of the biggest reasons you're struggling within yourself is that you're disconnected from your own needs. You've been so focused on what everyone else needs, on staying busy, or on chasing external validation, that you've lost touch with what you truly need. When was the last time you checked in with yourself? When was the last time you asked yourself, what do I need right now? It's easy to get caught up in the chaos of life, but if you don't take the time to tune into your own needs, you'll always feel like something is missing. Reconnect with yourself. Spend time alone. Reflect on what you want and need, and make space for self-care. When you're in tune with your own needs, you'll find that the internal struggle begins to fade. So there you have it. 9 reasons why you might be struggling within yourself, and more importantly, 9 ways to overcome them. At the end of the day, the internal battle is one we all face, but the good news is, you have the power to change it. You don't have to stay stuck. You don't have to keep struggling. The answers are within you, and when you start to address these issues, you'll find a sense of peace and fulfillment that no external validation can provide. If this resonated with you, don't forget to share it with someone who might need it. Let's continue to support each other on this journey of self-discovery and growth. And as always, subscribe, turn on notifications, and share to spread the inspiration. If you've made it this far, drop a 100 in the comments. It shows you are part of the 1% that's improving every single day.